don't think I've ever seen this guy on the channel, but I have seen like one or two of his videos in the past. His name is Shadows, and he makes like dinosaur and like Jurassic Park stuff. And he actually brings up the fact that there's like big Dilophosaurs in the Jurassic Park books. And I'll be real with you, that's always how I thought, like, because I thought they were supposed to be like the size of like velociraptors, right? Right, because I feel like that's how it's always been, like, at least in like other stuff. But then like in the Jurassic Park ones, they're always like these tiny little creatures. So I always figure like, alright, it's probably they just got it wrong, right? Just like the Spinosaurus, they're gonna make it right. But then apparently they came out again and they kept them small. So it's like, what the hell then? At this point, you might as well just say that these are like messed up. Anyway, point is, it's a good video. I stopped it like two minutes, like I don't know how many minutes. But anyway, point is, it's a good video. Let's check it out. I don't remember how much I watched of it, but I watched some of it.
Jurassic Park introduced us to the legendary Dilophosaurus, blinding and spitting venom at its prey, a truly horrifying animal, and even more so in the novels, 8 foot tall.
By the way, apparently, if I remember correctly, and it may just be a theory, right? I believe, the Dilophosaurs, like, they didn't have, like, they don't spit nothing, like, IRL, like, we don't even know if that was a thing, they just made that up, right? But some people are saying that it's actually a result of the mutations of, like, because it was, like, spliced with frog DNA. So it might have been something like that, like a mess up in the DNA and the code.
Tall and 25 foot long, with some of the most gruesome scenes in all of Jurassic Park history.
Yeah, because in the book, it says that it picks him up. Like, he gets picked up by his head. So, like, that wouldn't make sense with that tiny-ass little dog that's in, like, the movies.
Well, the novel version, that is. But the Dilophosaurus over the years has become more tame, less horrifying, even made fun of. In fact, in Camp Cretaceous, it's made out to be skittish little dogs. And let's not even talk about the scene where Owen Grady literally manhandles one. The days where the Dilophosaurus was truly horrifying and a threat seemingly gone, a thing of the past. Well,
yeah, meanwhile, IRL, they're, like, massive.
Well, that might not be entirely true, and may well all be about to change.
Ooh,
because for the first time in Jurassic Park history, we may actually be hearing the true thing of nightmares, the killer
I put a burrito
adult
in my oven.
Dilophosaurus.
Have like
but
a
I'm
little
getting
mini
ahead
oven,
of myself, so
and
let
I
me
put a
continue to
burrito in
explain.
there.
In the
And I'm
entirety
just
of
sort
the
of checking to
Jurassic
make sure
Park
it's ready or not.
franchise,
It's
the
not ready yet.
Dilophosaurus has always been displayed as this small animal. Now, not once has it ever been confirmed whether this is a juvenile Dilophosaurus or simply cloned this way, because in the novel, the Dilophosaurus is completely different, and in fact is several times.
Yeah, look at that! Oh, that's cool. See, that'd be intimidating as hell to see. Like a big old Dilophosaurus like that, and then he like spreads out his frills. It's like, oh hell nah.
Several times larger. So what is actually going on?
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if I like the direction of the new Jurassic Park films. They're starting to feel like exaggerate, like weird, like Fast and the Furious style, just nonsense action movies with mutants now. It's like, can we go back to like dinosaurs, but like make it more like a horror movie? You get what I'm saying? Like super scary.
On here is Jurassic Park simply displaying juvenile.
Like you only need one Velociraptor trying to like annihilate somebody inside of like a hotel or something crazy. Like, oh damn, you know, instead of like now they're like Power Rangers. Now the Velociraptors are like
fully
the
grown?
Raptors are.
Well, let's look at the
Power
entirety
Rangers
of
now.
the franchise. Not once do we see a Dilophosaurus bigger than the initial one in Jurassic Park 1 in 1993. And in
like that's what I always liked about Jurassic Park when I was a kid. It was because how scary it was. Y'all remember Jurassic Park? 2? Was it 2? Is 2 the one where they got into the bird cage, and then that one guy had like they were crossing the bridge. Ooh, I'm gonna look up that scene. That's a good scene.
In all other appearances, they mimic this size. Look at Dominion, for example, Camp Cretaceous, even the hologram in World. Does this confirm to us then that the Dilophosaurus has always been small? There's never an adult one, because the ones we see on screen are literally fully grown. That's the way they're manufactured. Well, that's not entirely true. You see, in a screenshot from the Lost World Jurassic Park, they feature a Dilophosaurus species profile.
It's Jurassic
this
Park 3.
species profile tells us that the Dilophosaurus
I feel like let me finish his point. This is a good point.
20 feet. This would be in line with
It's
the
actually a really
adult
good point.
size from the novel. And not only that.
Yes. This is more of like what I want to see. I don't mind if they go wacky colors, but it's just like, it's the intimidation factor of how ginormous it is, and it's sort of like it would be another unique dino that could, if effect in essence, act like a velociraptor in like the kitchen scene, or like this. Like I want to see the Dilophosaurus get a scene like this. Y'all remember this? This right here. I'm gonna mute it just because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, right? But that right there. Ooh, damn, that shit chills down my spine. Ooh, damn, that's it right there. That right there. Look at that, this moment right here. When I was a freaking little baby monkey in the movie theaters, and then like when I was like, I had it at home on VHS, and then later on I had the complete 3-disc box set on DVD of all 3 movies. This right here. Ooh, you know, you don't even get to see, like, that's some horror movie stuff. You don't even get to see him, like they don't even show the entire, look, that's as much as you get to see, because they keep it shrouded in the mystery, right? Because it's like the shape in the window and whatnot, right? Remember like Michael Myers, how he's supposed to be? Bro, this was the shiz when I was a kid. And then next scene, it's just everyone, the adults are all panic. Bam, gone, you don't even see he's gone. That's it, as far as you're concerned, no more, kid. Over, right? Like, they need to do that with this guy.
Lewis
He needs to have his like birdcage scene.
Rumored to be totally different than the one.
Like rather than like trying to throw like 50 different dinos in your face, like oh look how cool, more dino, it's like, all right, how about you like give them like a good scene like by themselves, kind of like the Baryonyx. The Baryonyx got a really cool scene in that in the volcano movie.
Approached by a
that was a new one. That was Jurassic World.
The ones we're used to. He skates it off with
inside of like the sewer with the lava. That was a cool scene. That was a sick scene.
Dilophosaurus. Now, for whatever happened, we never got that scene. But all of this to me is hinting that the larger adult Dilophosauruses are out there. And believe it or not, all of this is foreshadowing for the upcoming movie Rebirth and potentially beyond that. Now, I'll explain all.
Potentially, but so far all they've shown is like 2 different mutants. We haven't seen much else.
All of that in a second, but for anyone who doesn't know, I'd like to give you a bit of a...
Don't get me wrong. I like the idea of like the mutants. I like the idea of like the genetic spliced dinos. It's cool what the YouTube community's done with it, but I don't know. I just like the old. I like the classic dinos and like showing how scary they are. Rather than making them like sort of like, I don't know, just, I don't know.
Backstory on the adult Dilophosaurus and how it really festers and
they sort of declawed them, so to speak.
Ambience and environment.
Look at that! Oh, that's freaking intimidating as hell.
It's very telling. Even as he realized it, the pain overwhelmed him, and he dropped to his knees, disorientated, wheezing. He collapsed onto his side, his cheek pressed against the wet ground.
He's actually reading it from the book too, so that's like.
His breath coming in thin whistles through the constant, ever-screaming pain that caused flashing spots of light to appear behind his tightly shut eyelids. The earth then shook beneath him, and Nedry knew the dinosaur was moving. He could hear it.
Bro, the earth shook beneath him. Like, does that sound like those little dog creatures you be seeing? Like, come on, bro. It's gonna be way heavier than that.
Soft hooting cry. And despite the pain, he forced his eyes open,
thing.
And still he saw nothing but flashing spots against black. Slowly, the realization came to him. He was blind. The hooting was louder as Nedry scrambled to his feet and staggered back against the side panel of the car as a wave of nausea and dizziness swept over him. The dinosaur was close now. He could feel it coming close. He was dimly aware of its snorting breath, but he couldn't see. He couldn't see anything, and his terror.
Bro, think about how, like, certain frogs have, like, this incredibly, insanely powerful venom. Or not venom, but, like, poison. Like, their entire body. Like, some people could touch the freaking mucus or on a frog and instantly die from skin contact. But now imagine if the genetic DNA, like, mutated this Dilophosaur to have one that you could spit out, and it just instantly blinds Nedry. Insane! Like, why didn't you go more like subtle mutations like that?
Terror was extreme. He stretched out his hands, waving them wildly in the air to ward off the attack he knew was coming. And then there was a new, soaring pain, like a fiery knife in his belly. and Nedry stumbled, reaching blindly down to touch the ragged edge of his shirt and then a thick, slippery mass that was surprisingly warm.
Damn!
With horror, he suddenly knew he was holding his own intestines in his hands. The dinosaur had torn him
Bro, the
open.
movie, the
His
books
guts
were
had
way,
fallen
way
out.
scarier
Nedry
than the
fell to
freaking,
ground and
the
landed
actual
on something
movie.
scaly and cold. It was the animal's foot.
I rented it once from the library and it was freaking sick.
And then there was a new pain on both sides
book.
of his head. The pain
The movie,
grew
I own
worse.
that,
And
always.
as he was lifted to
VHS,
his feet, he
DVD,
knew the dinosaur had
Blu-ray.
his head in its jaws.
I lost the Blu-ray,
and
the
the
wrong guy,
horror
remember.
of the realization
Which one
was
do I have?
followed by a final wish that it would all be ended very soon. Jurassic Park
I'll
at
double
its
check
heart
later.
has always been horror. The original
I just
source
got Les
material
Mis
is
in
horror
Blu-ray.
and gore within a
And I still gotta
sinister
watch.
dark undertone. Now,
I
know
forgot,
you
did I
might
get
be
the
thinking,
OG
well,
or did I
we've
get the
seen
Liam
the
Neeson or did I get
Dilophosaurus
the...
in the trailer? It looks rather small. And while that is true, I'm not disputing the fact that there are obviously smaller Dilophosaurus in the Jurassic Park world. We've seen him multiple times.
There should be, right? But like, let's get the cool ones.
What I am saying is the smaller Dilophosaurus will clearly be scared away by the waking T-Rex.
I don't remember
because
which
it's the
Les
same
Mis I got.
scene.
Let me
the
check.
girl in the trailer has obviously startled the Dilophosaurus. It will frill/hiss, and then the likely scenario is it runs off. This is perfect because not only is that a cameo for the small Dilophosaurus, it then sets up the reveal of the larger Dilophosaurus later on. I mean, it will shock the audience. And not only that, we've recently had the reveal
Damn,
of a
it's the new one.
Dilophosaurus via an advert. And have you noticed something here? This design
Now I remember why I didn't want to freaking rush to watch it.
I
thought it for like $1 at a satellite.
inspired and almost a
It
copy
was
to
not
the
even- it was
novel's
like
design.
it was like take. I can't remember. It was like take something for
Does
like
this mean
$5.
that we're going to see a
I think it was
fully
take
grown
three for
adult
$5, something like that. So I
Dilophosaurus,
grabbed
one which
that.
will redeem the Dilophosaurus and bring it
I
back
got
to its
Rambo,
horror roots, rather than it
the
just
new
being some
one,
type of gimmicky
where he's like an
dinosaur.
old man.
Could we
I
see
haven't
a
seen it yet.
scene like Nedry's death? Well, I know what you're thinking immediately. We've had the rating, right? It's a PG-13. That would mean that we can't see
The
a
new
gruesome
Rambo. What the
scene
hell was the other one?
like
The third one.
the one
Hold
which
up.
Nedry was in the novel. Well, to that, my reply is The Lost World Jurassic Park. And if you didn't get it from that, I'll further hone in for you. Eddie Carr. You thought of it yet? The Lost World Jurassic Park was a PG-13 movie. It featured, the same
It was Dark Knight. I got Dark Knight. That was the last one. Yeah, well, of course you're not gonna be able to show it. I mean, freaking A. Like half of the freaking like. Yeah, I want to say I was gonna say half of the movie is like following the kids. To be fair, yeah, right. So like, how much could you really show? They didn't even show the scene where the old man gets like devoured by the car. He lives. The old guy, the grandpa of the two kids. This guy.
Jurassic Park. And if you
Not
didn't
that guy.
get it from
Forget
that,
that guy.
I'll further
That
hone in
guy's
for
death was pretty brutal. I don't know.
you,
But
Eddie Carr. You thought of it yet? The Lost World Jurassic Park
look at
was a
that!
PG-13
Damn,
movie.
they rip him in half.
Featured, the same scenes as what we'd see in Jurassic Park, but there was one scene which stands out to me above
was
the rest.
sick.
One scene as a kid I literally had to cover my eyes for, and that's the scene
Oh,
where
that was
Eddie
brutal.
Carr gets ripped in half by two.
Yeah, that one was brutal. But like this one too. This one should have been brutal. That guy, this fool. The old guy. That fool, he in the books, he freaking falls down like a freaking ditch, and then like the little like compies that eat like the Mexican guy, they like try eating him like little by little, and then he do like, oh no, and then he tries to climb back up, and then they like keep biting him, so he falls down, and like basically they like bite him to like 1,000,000 times to death.
Gets ripped in half by two T-Rexes. That, my friends, is still
Oops.
a PG-13
my
movie.
chair
So
down.
using that logic, we could clearly do an adult Dilophosaurus attack scene similar to the one that is Nedry's. Picture this.
Absolutely.
It's dark, late at night. The party are either camping or moving through darkness, and they hear the hooting sounds of a Dilophosaurus. Now, the audience immediately will recognize the sound, and they won't be alarmed themselves because they're so used to the Dilophosaurus being a joke. The cast, on the other hand, may not know what this is. They investigate, have a little jump scare from a small Dilophosaurus in a bush, they scared it away. The audience are then put at ease as well because, again, they know the only dinosaur which makes that noise is a Dilophosaurus. Then all of a sudden, they hear a deeper hooting noise, one they've never heard before.
Oh, that would be sick. Alright, you've sold me. You've absolutely sold me on the scene. He's using a really good, like, clip from another YouTuber, but
The
this
audience
sold
are
me.
then took by surprise because the hooting noise they know is from the Dilophosaurus, but we've just seen that, and this noise is far deeper. One of the members goes off to investigate into the darkness, into the bushes. they hear the hooting noise again getting louder, with bushes rustling. The cast member is obviously really perplexed, thinking, what is this? They move up to the bushes, looking down at the floor as if to look for a smaller Dilophosaurus animal. When the bushes part and reveal a giant foot, the camera then pans from the ground, rising towards the air, way above the cast member's head, and there's a huge Dilophosaurus, an adult Dilophosaurus, peering down at the cast member. And this is the point where it strikes and goes black. And if you want even more...
That would be an absolutely amazing rendition of the scene. And it would be so easy to make happen just at any freaking point in time in the movie, honestly.
More proof the fact that we could see an adult Dilophosaurus, the fact that
I heard it
Winston
from my burrito,
himself,
but I'm not
when
gonna
he
go
was
touch it
producing
yet.
the first film,
Gotta
said
let it
that
cool.
the Dilophosaurus we see on screen was always intended to be a juvenile. Again, further reinforcing the fact that the ones we do see are juvenile Dilophosauruses. And we've never yet to see an adult. Coupled with the Lost World Jurassic Park's species profile, knowing they can grow to 20 foot, we've now opened the door to see this adult Dilophosaurus. And I know for them people who are thinking, well, the Dilophosauruses we see in Jurassic Park, etc., are the fully grown versions, and we have to...
It's not... Here's the thing, right? It's like, let's be real. The freaking story's garbage already. Okay? They already made up a new island, an island that didn't exist before. It doesn't matter anymore. We've broken past that barrier. If you guys know about the lore of Jurassic Park, right? We've broken past that point. We're well past that. All we need now is a good excuse. So this is a genuinely amazing excuse to add a much bigger, amazing threat back into the game, and it would give that nostalgia. It would absolutely give that nostalgia to a lot of fans of Jurassic Park.
That's simply the way they've been cloned. Now, we can say that, but we're going back to an island before they perfected the genomes. I mean, we literally see the D-Rex. We literally see other T-Rexes. This could be the Dilophosaurus before they parkified it, as a sense. Because we know all the animals they wanted to clone were the animals to go into the park. What happens if they cloned this Dilophosaurus and they thought, this is just too big? Let's scale it down, exactly like they scaled down an elephant for Hammond, so he was able to go to investors. They scaled the Dilophosaurus down to be able to fit it into the park. Like the guy on the tour says, the Dilophosaurus is a beautiful, yet deadly addition to...
Yo, I'm gonna be real with you. It's not a bad idea to say that some of the species were actually Pygmy variants in order to specifically, parkify it. That would be a genius idea, actually.
Jurassic Park. So now with the
it would make sense too, like for a business, for like
fit this
an investor standpoint, you know.
New adult version in. I mean,
thank
we've
you
got
so much,
foreshadowing from the old Jurassic Park movies telling us we can have adults, and if people don't agree with that, they can literally create this new law to bring it in. I mean, they've literally whipped another island out when there's multiple islands in the 5 deaths they could have used. They decided not to use them. They decided...
Thank you for bringing that up! I never understood because I fully kept looking it up on Google, like, which island is it? It's Las Cinco Muertes, the 5 deaths, so which one is it?
Not to use
and it's like not even any of those.
They've made another island. So who's to say that they can't do this with a Dilophosaurus? They can.
You could absolutely make a whole other new island, or realistically, you could just use one of the other islands. Like they're still available.
And I'm pretty sure at some point they will. And if they don't, well, that's just stupid. But who knows? I mean, it couldn't get any worse, could it? Unless we get Scarlet Joe literally choking out a Dilophosaurus rather than Chris Pratt. I mean, they've done stupider things.
At this point, it's ridiculous. Like what is this? You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm saying? This not what I wanted. I wanted the dinosaurs to be freaking scary.
In the past.
Is that so much?
Will we see an adult Dilophosaurus? If not in Rebirth, in the future. Would you like to see an adult Dilophosaurus? Or do you believe the ones we see already are the adult versions? Let me know your thoughts, because I read every single comment. And at this point, I'd like to bring up something very serious. Everyone who's wished me well over the past few weeks, it means an awful lot to me. If you're not aware, I was taken into hospital. I won't go into the details.
Oh, snap! What the frick?
Well, it really does mean the world.
Yo, my bad! I didn't even know that! This is the first freaking video I'm reacting to!
To me, and thank you so much for watching this video up until this point. Everyone who's watched, your support means absolutely everything to me, so thank you. We're almost at 200,000 subscribers.
Not the first video I've watched of Shadow, by the way. I've seen some Shadows videos in the past. And if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I'm wrong, actually, I gotta double check. I believe he made a really amazing video on the lagoon from Jurassic Park. Please go check that out too. I might check it out later. No, I recently saw that he put out this video, so that's kind of why I want to react to it. It's only 2 weeks ago.
A subscribe button and help us reach that goal, I would really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, please, so we can send this out to more.
I think that's the
Jurassic
lagoon
fans.
video.
As always,
The
a
snake.
massive thanks to my
I think it's that one, the top left one. Absolutely. I think that's the one about the lagoon. And yeah, I like his idea of, like, I watched it already, but I might I will pre-watch it. It's fine. We'll react to it anyways. Because it's been a minute. But, like, I like the idea of, like, one of the other islands, or not even the other islands, the same exact island, but, like, the top section where the lagoon is at. It would be amazing to make a horror movie spaced only in the lagoon. You could have freaking baryonyx. You could have Titanoboa. You could have the Beelzebubs, the freaking frogs. There'd be a lot of pretty, like, intimidating looking freaking like creatures out there in, like, a swamp. Ooh, a lagoon. That would be dope. That would be dope. Spinosaurus could be in there. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Community members are on screen now, the DNA researchers, the head geneticist, DVM wannabe, and Hammer Time, and not to mention our Jurassic CEO.
Absolutely. Please go give him some love, go give him some support. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a like, drop a sub. Please be sure to go drop a like and sub. I'm gonna go ahead and link the video on Discord, Monos. Please be sure to go show some love, show some support. Absolutely phenomenal videos. Go check out his other stuff too. Yeah, what was really in the restricted section? That's the one about the lagoon. Go check that out. It's cool. He's got a lot of cool ideas for what Jurassic Park could be or what they could do, and frankly, I like theorizing or like thinking about cool stuff like that. I'm not saying it's bad where they're going with the series now. I like a lot of what they are doing, but there's also a lot of stuff that I'm just like, kind of taking away the teeth from the dinos, you know. All right, Monos, we're gonna go ahead and move on. Please be sure to go support. Ayoo, Monodachis! Thank you so much for watching this video! Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe! You can also find links to the videos that we reacted to today down in the description below, along with my Oshi marks. I'll see you in the next video, Monos. Goodbye, and thank you so much for swinging by. Sadu!